Hey y'all, welcome to Kamira's Kitchen. Today I'm going to show y'all how to make some delicious mustard fried pork chops. Yes, down in the country, honey. It's not pork chop, it's pork chop. Okay, so y'all, I have some bone-in pork chops. Now, if you want to do this right, if you want to do it like me and have it come out tasting delicious, you want to pick that bone-in pork chop and you want to clean it with a little bit of white vinegar. Now, I know some people say you don't wash your meat. And baby, I ain't going to argue with you. Okay, whenever I deal with pork, I always be washing it. Okay, I feel like, it's a little gritty. It's from them cutting the chops and things like that. So I just prefer to do this. Okay. Then I am going to dry them with a paper towel. You do want to make sure they are very dry because, you want the seasonings and everything we're going to put on it to stick. And of course, if you clean meat in your sink, bust out those bubbles, clean the sink. It cleans up just like a bowl, honey. Okay, it ain't hard. I'm going to try and keep this recipe as simple as possible for you guys because really it doesn't take much to make a fried pork chop taste good. You don't necessarily need a lot of different spices or anything like that. So once I know that my chops are nice and dry, I'm going to go in with some basic yellow mustard. It truly doesn't matter what brand you use, they all taste the same. I am using some Morton's Nature Seasoning. This is a very simple seasoning salt. I'm also going to use a low sodium Cajun seasoning. This is not like Tony's where the sodium content is pretty high. This one is more spice based. And then I decided to add in a little extra garlic powder, but you could also use lemon pepper. That's very good on these chops. Be generous with the mustard, y'all. It's cheap, but it's going to add a good flavor to your chops. I am using this Nature Seasoning like salt. This is a very simple mix of salt, pepper, garlic powder, onion powder, and a few herbs. So if you don't have this exact brand, you can just make a combination like that. Or you can use a saltier based Creole seasoning like Tony's instead of this seasoning salt. I personally don't like Lowry's because it's a bit strong, but you can use any seasoning salt you prefer. I'm also going to go in generously with the Cajun seasoning, especially since it's low sodium. I can add a lot of it and it's going to add a lot of flavor and a lot of color. And then I'm just going to use my spirit, y'all, to put on that garlic powder. You just need to season with your spirit until it's covered, till it looks good. Just don't go overboard with the salt because you know that pork has a little bit of a saltiness to it. Now, I'm going to teach you a trick so your pork chops don't sort of balloon up in the fryer, or at least you can try to prevent that. In the middle of your chop, go in with a knife and make about 1 inch to maximum 1.5 inch incision. When you get to some of these chops that have a weird shape, it's not quite flat, it can be hard to know exactly where it might balloon, but I'm going to still put an incision mark to just try to prevent as much bending as possible so the chop can fry flat. Now, some of these you will notice on the edge, it's really tight, like the fat is really tight there. It's always going to pucker in those places. So if I see something like that, I will also go ahead and make a slit to prevent that puckering. If you are deep frying your chops, then this won't matter because oil is going to surround your chop on all sides. But I do think doing this helps the chop fry flat and you get a crispier coating. I'm also going to add a little bit of hot sauce and then I'm going to prepare the flour mixture. My flour mixture is very simple. I'm going to use some all-purpose flour. Don't ask me how much, baby, I don't know. I shook some in, watch and learn, okay? And then I'm also going to add a little bit of cornstarch to help the coating become crispier. Then I'm going to use the same seasonings I put on the pork. I'm also going to put that in the flour. I'm going to use that Nature Seasoning, the Cajun seasoning, garlic powder, and I may just add a little bit of salt, okay, like a little pinch. And that's it. You mix it together. I definitely want to make sure I add a good amount of that Cajun seasoning because that paprika in there is going to give a nice color to the chops. It's going to help it cook up and get a nice golden look. All right, honey, so let me go ahead and give you the lowdown on how to properly coat these pork chops. I'm going to show you 2 ways. It depends on your preference. Now, at first, you can just take a pork chop and, of course, put it in your flour. You want to make sure it's well covered. If you want a lighter coating, you don't have to press the flour as much. Some people like a very light coating. I don't want mine to be super thick, but I definitely want a crust. So I like to take my hand and just press the flour into the chop and then shake off any excess. It is very important to shake off the excess because that will burn and just go bad in your oil. So this is one way you can do your chops. Now, if you like to have a lot of crunchy bits, maybe a slightly thicker coating, then what you want to do is rub your hand. Knock those bits off of your hand. I also like to cover my hand in a little bit more of that mustard, and then I let it mix with the flour, and then I rub it off. I'm creating little nooks and crannies and crevices and little blobs really that are mixed with the flour and the mustard. And when I go to coat my next pork chop, those bits are going to stick to it. They are going to clump with the rest of the flour, and they're going to create a lot of crevices that will fry up very crispy. This is my favorite way to have pork chops, or really any fried food, if it's like fried pork, fried chicken, things like that. And you will see this one has a little bit of a more textured coating. That coating is going to fry up really crispy. Let me know in the comments, what is your favorite way to coat your pork chops? Do you like the lighter coating? Do you like one that's a little bit thicker, a little more crunchy? Let me know your preferred way. All I know is no matter how you do it, baby, if you serve it up on a biscuit, honey, I'm game in. Okay, you done got me. All right. I'm going to set these to the side while I heat up my oil. I am actually reusing some oil from some chicken I fried. I will use oil again one more time. I know some folks will use it till the oil is black. Baby, I can't do that. Okay, I'll just give it one more go and it's good for me. I like to add a little bit of fresh oil to my reused oil. I just feel like the taste is better. The used oil gives it a good flavor, and then the fresh oil, I feel like it's just nicer that way. You're going to know that your oil is hot enough when you stick the tip of the pork chop in there and it starts to sizzle immediately. Now, that first one I did wasn't good. Now, I'm going to show you the difference here. I put it in and it starts to just sizzle and pop. That's how you know it is ready. Now, my trick is that I always keep my temperature really on a medium to maybe a medium low when I am frying things in a cast iron skillet. If you put this on a high temperature, you will realize very quickly that your oil is going to get so hot that it's going to get out of control. So I keep the temperature at about a 4 on an electric stove, 4 to 5, okay? Now I cooked it on one side for about 5 minutes. You do not want to flip your pork chops before the first side has set. If you do that, then the coating will fall off. But what you're going to see is that this is nice and golden brown and beautiful, especially if you're keeping that steady temperature. Look at that. Ain't that a thing of beauty? Baby, you know you want some. Now, when I cook it on the other side, it's only going to need to cook for about 3, maybe 3.5 more minutes. Pork is very easy to overcook, so you have to be careful. Okay, don't overcook that thing. But look at that. Y'all know this looks good, baby. You know you want some. I'm going to place my pork chops on a rack with a baking sheet under it. I don't prefer to do the paper towel so the crust doesn't get soggy. And I'm just going to let the excess oil drip down into the bottom of the pan. It's very important that between each round of frying, you go in with the sieve and you get out the bits that have fallen off. This is how you're going to keep your oil fresher. And also, if you let these bits sit in here, on the last round of cooking, you will find that some of those burnt bits will stick to your food and give your food a burnt taste. I do let the oil come back up to temp between each batch. That really doesn't take very long in a cast iron skillet because it's so shallow. Another trick is that I try to fry bigger pork chops with smaller or medium pork chops. Okay, that's the way I can try to get 2 in a pan. I don't push it to 3 because I find that it becomes overcrowded. I know so many people think pork is fatty, but baby, if you overcook that thing, it's going to become dry like a chicken breast. So make sure you don't overcook your pork, and you are going to have beautiful, golden, delicious, juicy mustard fried pork chops. Now, baby, the only way to do this properly, if you're in the South, is to slather you some hot sauce on it and take it with some bread. Now, this time, I'm going to give y'all another little tip because you stayed to the end. I'm going to eat it with a little brioche bread. What you say? You say you only do a Wonder Bread? Baby, you don't know. Okay, I'm trying to put you on. It's just like having it with a honey butter biscuit. Okay, a little sweet bread. and some fried pork chop and some hot sauce. Baby, you eating good in the neighborhood. So, baby, let me know if you're going to try this, if you're going to make this, and I'll see you next time in Kamira's Kitchen. Goodbye, and God bless.